New York Comic Con, and this is me voluntarily deciding to be at New York Comic Con. I've got no panels to moderate, no interviews, or anything like that. I've got a couple of meetings, and that's pretty much it. I want to stress this is completely an elective thing for me to have done. Oh my God, it's completely nuts. It is Saturday.
It's Saturday, but it was just as busy on Friday, and Friday's a day when people should be out their jobs or at school. I believe that they're neglecting their studies and risking having that second write-up that gets them that much closer to the third write-up that gets them close to having all the free time in the world to go to Comic-Con. Why are there so many people here today? Well, it's a great con. That's probably the reason why. I've been going to the New York Comic-Con for years and years. This is the first one where I became aware of how valuable it is to always have a mental map of places where you can sit. I did about 20,000 steps of walking yesterday, no joke. I decided today, you know what? I think I'll show up early for this panel that I want to attend so I can sit in line for 45 minutes and then sit at the panel for 45 minutes. And then I went out to a booth of a good friend of mine and sat in his booth for about an hour. Then I went to the press room, sat there for a little bit. I was standing for the first 2 hours. That's because I enjoy doing cosplay photography while I'm here. That's a fun thing to do. So I realized that at the Boston Comic Con that the best way to do that is to find a neglected corner in which there's no booth, a corner they couldn't sell it out, or a fire exit or something like that. Stake that place out. Do not walk around and around and around. Just stay in that one position and let all the cosplayers walk in front of me and pull them out of traffic and pose them in front of there. That worked out really great for me because it meant not only did I get good pictures, but it also means I didn't have to do that much walking. On the subject of Comic-Con cosplay photography, this is the second big con I've been to that had a no taking pictures without the subject's consent rule, which is a rule that I definitely agree with. I wrote a big piece for Boing Boing about it, about the reason why these recent rules have been put into effect is because a lot of women are getting, at best, harassed, and at worst, getting actually assaulted, partly because of what some stupid people to believe to be open license. Oh, look, you're dressed up like Wonder Woman, so it's okay to grab your butt because you're dressed up as Wonder Woman. That's not that at all. And there are also creepy people who are trying to get pictures of people from angles that person would not consent to. There's a certain creep factor for some people who come here. So that's why Boston Comic Con was the first. This is the second one I've been to that says you cannot take candid pictures of any kind. I'm a little bit worried about it because non-consensual photography, another way of describing that is photojournalism. And what I really enjoy about attending these shows is that using my camera to take lots and lots of pictures to tell the story about what this con was like, what the experience was like. Not everybody can go to a con. These sell out months and months in advance, and this is a way to sort of share that experience with other people and get them excited about going to a con in their own town. However, the important thing about this rule, the more important thing than my desire to be able to take pictures and do photojournalism without asking permission, we're not talking about taking sneaky pictures of people in costumes. We're talking about chance encounter between two different Ms. Marvels, for instance, that are glad to see each other, or someone adjusting their costume. I like getting pictures of. I don't care about taking pictures of Thor. I want to get a picture of this person who decided to make a Thor costume and wanted to wear it at this con. So that's the sort of thing that I like to take pictures of. So maybe it's inconvenient for me, but it's a very, very big deal and very, very important. That's one of the reasons why you just simply deal with it. I also like to say that now that this is the second time that I've decided to accept that rule faithfully, I saw it more of a creative challenge than anything else. There was a while there that I didn't like to take pictures of any people under any circumstances because I was too shy about that. Also, I don't want to say, hi, I'm a stranger with a camera, please let me take pictures of you, and then you, the subject, won't know what happened to the pictures, but it'll be okay. So I had to challenge myself to say, you know what, I will start taking pictures of people in public, not in an obnoxious way, I'm going to throw this in your face and disrupt your good time and make you feel unsafe way, but places at events where there really is no expectation that you're not going to be photographed. and not in a way that invades people's privacy. So that was the old challenge. The new challenge is now I have to get past another social problem I have, which is I have to go up to somebody, introduce myself, and say, I would like to take your picture. This is something I've always done when I've taken post pictures of cosplayers, because that's, of course, the best way to do it. And it also gives the cosplayer a chance to adjust their costume and get the pose. But it changes when you try to challenge yourself in this new way. For instance, just about an hour ago, I saw a woman in a Mystique costume who was touching up her body paint on her lower leg, and I thought this was a lovely photo that I encountered, and whereas before I would discreetly take a picture, not in a way that would embarrass this person, but simply to document the scene as part of the experience of being at the con, this time I had to wait for a pause, introduce myself, explain that I thought this was a really good shot. Is it okay if I take a picture of you doing this? Just keep on doing what you're doing. And the second or third or fourth time today that I had to tell somebody, you're having this wonderful, cool con moment. I don't want to interrupt you, but is it okay? Can you keep doing what you're doing, and I'll take a picture of you doing that? Well, I believe that from a selfish point of view, this is helping to make me a better photographer, because you don't get very far by not wanting to connect with the people that you take pictures of. As important as it is to be able to document things in a photojournalistic sort of way, it's also important to be able to start that conversation and learn more about this person's story in a way that doesn't intrude upon their good time. But more important than that, I realize that there is a larger problem that this is here to solve. That is, this is a little bit clumsy to say, although it's clumsy to say you can't take pictures that are... It's a necessary rule if you want to create an environment in which people feel safe. You don't want to create an environment in which people don't want to attend this con because they don't feel they're going to be safe here. There's a really wonderful New England-based cosplayer, goes by the name of Belle Cher. She posted on Facebook just a few days before New York Comic Con, saying that contrary to her plan, she isn't going to be able to attend. And the reason was she was being harassed by someone through Facebook who was promising sickening, terrible things that would happen to her if she attended this con. And you know what? It costs a lot of money for her to attend the show, a lot of preparation, it's a lot of fun, but there's a lot of work involved in this. And if you toss in danger, you know what? There's other things that she could be doing with her time, is the basic idea. So in the end, people like me really have to indicate a yes or no vote. Do we want to be part of the solution to the problem, or at some point do you believe that this is someone else's problem? Maybe you care about it, but you want this to be a problem that someone else tries to solve. I want to be an active part of the solution to this, and that's why I am trying to take these new rules as absolute gospel. I will say that I did take a shot of this crowd. I did not ask all 8,000 people behind them if I could take a video of them, but even things about people waiting in line to get into places, I try not to shoot that. So the only things that I will say that I seriously hope they fix about these rules, they published a really thorough set of guidelines and a good set of guidelines. Part of making the con safer is making sure there are unquestionable codes of behavior expected of people, also a standardized and publicized set of procedures that are to happen if there are any complaints. You don't have to approach a con person and maybe they'll pass that complaint up or maybe they won't. No, if someone makes a report that has to be passed up and something has to be done about it, that's the rule. And in these lists of things that you can and cannot do, I think it's unfortunate that non-consensual photography is in one long paragraph that includes a lot of really, really terrible things that aren't, I would say, violent thing, but clearly aggressive and rude and terrible things that aren't in the same category of journalism. If you're doing something in a photojournalistic way, I don't want a situation in which anybody who shows up with a camera will be considered under suspicion as a potential threat. So I would like that for that to be listed in a separate category in these rules. But that's all I would say about that. For all I know, you're not getting any of this audio because, goodness gracious, it's very, very loud here. I'll close off by saying that my relationship with cons has changed a lot over the past 10 or 15 years. I've been attending my first big one was San Diego Con 25 years ago. That one I thought was too big, and I believe that that's probably half as big as what the 2014 New York Comic Con is right now. And whereas I would first try to go, I would want to try to see everything and do everything, then I sort of transitioned into I'll be there to buy comics, then I stopped collecting comics, then I started collecting art and sketches, and it would be all about what artists are showing, and are they selling art, are they doing sketches, how do I get their sketch list, which turned into a big stress poo, that I would get stuck in every single time. And now for cons are a lot about moderating panels. I enjoy giving interviews. I didn't have anything to do this time. Now I enjoy the photography aspect. I would take pictures I would not get to take, people I would not get to meet otherwise. And something that struck me just now at this show was that I have a lot of friends who work in the comics industry and who attend shows like these. And so this is an opportunity to hang out with a lot of people that I really, really enjoy being with, get caught, hang out with a booth, read them on Twitter. Hey, you're here? I'm here too. Let's meet up. I'm unapologetic. Just like the iPhone 5C is unapologetically plastic, I'm an unapologetic adult attendee of a Comic-Con. I do apologize for the dark thoughts that I sometimes think when I'm inside the con and Marvel Studios is blasting music from their movies and you can't move 10 feet without being shouted at or bullhorned. I apologize for thinking those things. I didn't express them, but I apologize for thinking them. If you've never been to a con, they're not all this crazy, I promise you. Again, you kind of need a battle plan and energy bars to get through 3 days at New York Comic Con. But there's probably going to be a con within driving distance of your city. If there is, definitely check it out. One of the things I love about what I've seen in the past 10 or 15 years is that it's no longer really for a limited audience of movie nerds and comic book nerds and fans of that nature. It really is all natures, all interests. I love seeing families here. I love seeing kids who are really, really excited to meet Batman. A little tiny Green Arrow who is very, very excited to show off his costume, and apparently is really proud of the Green Arrow costume he built with his little 7 or 8-year-old son. Definitely worth checking out. Bring your plans, bring your energy bars, hydrate, and take it from Old Man Andy Anatko. There are places where you can sit. Find them. Thanks for watching.